Good evening. Welcome, Hale-Ray faculty, members of the community, parents, family, and most important, our classmates. My name is Marissa Perry, and I'm the class president of the class of 2023. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty members, proud parents, and most importantly, our remarkable class of 2023. Welcome to the graduation ceremony. Let's hear it. Woo! Here it is. There it is. As principal of Nathan Hale-Ray High School, I welcome you all to enjoy this beautiful weather in what is sure to be a memorable experience. Before I provide the highly motivational speech that you've all been waiting for, I'd first like to take a moment to recognize a few individuals that make this day possible. There are 6, well, we're going to start with 6, but there are many. First, the amazing administrative assistant trio of Annette Vaccarino, Sarah Krasuski, Amy Chamberlain. In addition to our very special Rosemary Evans, as well as Amanda Poniatowski and Mr. Alex Latanzi, our class advisors. Please give a round of applause to those 6 individuals. Go. Back over there. Next, I'd like to thank our unmatched teachers and support staff who have done amazing things to aid our students through their educational journey. Please join me in another round of applause, and I would please join me in another round of applause for our teachers. I would be remiss if I didn't ask for a standing ovation for two of our retirees, Ms. Kathy Salmon and Mr. Marty Ritzak. Thank you. Thank you very much to Ms. Stroley, our fabulous assistant principal, Mr. Oresco, the district support person of the year, Mr. Marino, Mr. Harwood, Mr. Ruiz, our amazing custodial staff, our maintenance squad of PJ, Jeff, and Pat that have put this beautiful location together, our IT squad, Brian, Alex, Connor, Rob, and the AV students that are bringing us live to you today. The senior, well, we already mentioned those two. I would also like to welcome Superintendent Reese, our Board of Education members, our Ray Board members, distinguished guests, and other district administrators. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. Please join me in a final round of applause for these individuals as well. Today, as principal of Nathan Hale-Ray, I stand before you with a mix of emotions: pride, joy, even a touch of bittersweet sentiment. We've journeyed together through 4 incredible years, 4 memorable years, and now we gather here to celebrate your graduation. First and foremost, congratulations. You did it. Each and every one of you deserves the recognition for hard work, determination, and countless late-night study sessions you endured to reach this milestone. So take a moment to savor this achievement, to bask in the glory of your success, and to revel in the pride that radiates from the hearts of loved ones here to see you today. Today I want to talk about one thing, well, many things, but one thing in particular, about accountability. Accountability is the cornerstone upon which success is built, and it's a trait that will guide you through your entire journey. As you leave the familiar halls of Hale-Ray and step into the real world, accountability will be your compass, guide you towards your goals and aspirations. Accountability starts with recognizing that you are the architect of your destiny. Each decision you make, every action you take has consequences, and it's your responsibility to own those consequences. It means taking ownership of the mistakes and learning from them. Embrace the lessons that they offer and let them fuel your personal growth. Remember that success is not measured solely by the absence of failure, but how you rise above it and persevere. It means recognizing that you have the power to shape your own destinies, and the choices you make will shape the world around you. Accountability is not just about taking responsibility for ourselves. It's also about how we treat others and the impact we have on their lives. It's about being kind, about being empathetic, and about being supportive. It's about lending a helping hand when someone stumbles and extending a shoulder to cry on when they need it most. The world needs leaders who understand the importance of accountability and uplift and inspire those around them. It means accepting that you're the author of your own story and that every page you write matters. So be bold, take risks, and never be afraid to own your mistakes. They are stepping stones to growth and resilience. Of course, let's not forget that high school is also about laughter. It's a place where one moment you feel like the king or queen of the world, and next, you're convinced that Mr. Gable's algebraic equations were specifically designed to torment your sanity. Remember those awkward freshman days when you couldn't find your classroom? Or the time that one of you mistook the janitor's closet for the restroom? That happened. Oh, the memories we made together. Life's journey is not complete without a good laugh at times. Your ability to laugh at yourselves, even during the most embarrassing situations, is a testament to your resilience and the kind of people that you've become. Graduates, let me say how immensely proud I am of each and every one of you. Your laughter, your resilience, and your ability to find joy in the most mundane moments have made this journey truly unforgettable. May your future be filled with success, happiness, and accountability, as well as countless moments that make you burst into uncontrollable laughter. Congratulations, class of 2023. It's been an honor being your principal, and I can't wait to see what hilarious adventures await you in the future. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Melissa Knox. I'm here with my fellow class officer, Marissa Perry. We have the honor to welcome Mr. Martin Ritzak to deliver this year's commencement speech. Mr. Ritzak has been a vital part of our Hale-Ray community, teaching for over 40 years and being the athletic director for 22 years.
First, I would like to recognize Mr. Ritzak as an athletic director and coach. As many of you know, the girls' soccer team struggled with numbers this year, with a total of 6 girls willing to play, us being 2 of them. And we didn't have a coach or enough girls to play on the field, so Coach Ritzak took on the very daring role of leading the girls' soccer team. Not only that, but he also managed to find a team that was interested in co-oping with us. Without him stepping up for us, we wouldn't have been able to play the sport that we love. In the past years, he has also coached boys soccer, girls and boys basketball, and baseball for the Hale-Ray Noises. He has also been a positive influence and mentor for the players that he has coached. So thank you, Mr. Ritzak, for being an amazing coach and athletic director throughout the years.
Aside from being a teacher and a coach, Mr. Ritzak is also a RISES advisor. RISES is the period during the day when students have the time to work on homework or seek help from teachers. Over the 4 years, I have had the pleasure of having Mr. Ritzak as my RISES teacher. He has helped guide me and 9 others since freshman year. Every day we go in, he is there to greet us with a smile. He aims to teach us new things about life any chance he can through the various stories he is so notorious for. He continues to show our group how important it is to be kind and learn everything you can from the people around you. He has been a great mentor for us, bringing jokes and good spirits to class. Since he has been a member of East Haddam for so long, he knew how valuable it was for us to learn about the rich history of our town. Recently, he took several seniors to the Historical Society here in town, where we were able to learn about the origins of significant monuments we pass by every day. Thank you, Mr. Ritzak, for being a mentor and a friend as we journeyed through the last 4 years. Good luck with your next adventure.
That's pretty good. That's great. I had so much fun coaching soccer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. What a nice night it is. Board of Education members, Mr. Superintendent, and administration, faculty, staff, parents, friends, and graduates, welcome to a most special evening. There are 3 things that I know about commencement speeches. 3 things. Number 1, nobody comes to hear a commencement speaker. That's not why you're here, very clearly. Number 2, nonetheless, I should attempt to provide you with some profound wisdom. But number 3, most important, let's get it over with and so we can get on to the important stuff. So here we go. Today marks the 53rd anniversary of the graduation of the class in 1970. I figuratively sat on this same stage, and I'm sure experienced many of the same feelings you have right now. I am honored to be sharing this stage with you today. As we know from health class and the teachings of Robert Hastings, tonight represents one of the many stations in life we will all arrive at. But with each arrival, it then serves as a departure point for another part of your journey. Yes, a cliche it is, but life is a journey and not a destination. And for both of us, tonight represents the beginning of what is to become. And on your journey, I've asked you what you will be packing, taking with you to help you along the way. Obviously, you will not forget your cell phone, because without it, most of you would be lost. But what other nuggets of wisdom are you taking? I would like to share 5 thoughts you won't find by asking Siri or Alexa. Number 1, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Socrates, you may have heard of him. He was a pretty cool dude, if there ever was one, although I doubt he was called that back in the day. He lived a long time ago, like 80 years or so, or maybe even longer. You guys can look it up. You can Google it.
I had to use my Funkin' Wagnalls. That was a four-letter F word, but you can look that up too. Socrates had some interesting things to say about the youth in his day. Paraphrasing here, but he said, the problem with youth today is they are lazy, never get exercise, think they know it all, and have no respect for their elders. Really, look it up. He was old, probably old school no less, but it is true. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Youth is wasted on the young. Number two, and the reason youth is wasted on the young is because you guys right now have very little perspective. There is a huge difference between perception and perspective, as we learned in health class. The lens through which you view the world comes from social media and the internet. Your perception about life, gleaned from countless hours online, may indeed not be always accurate. Moodus to most of you is probably very boring, just like the class in 1970 thought back in the day. But back in my day, Moodus had a movie theater, bowling alley, 3 restaurants, and 2 grocery stores on Main Street, which meant we had a Main Street, 2 dance clubs, 3 gas stations, and 7 resorts. You have Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, and Instagram. You never have to leave your house. Obviously, it's better today, right? Well, perspective is what may give you some much-needed insight. To acquire that perspective, travel. Go places, do things. Get a job you hate, like washing dishes at Frank Davis Resort for 12 hours a day for $1.25 an hour. That was an experience to pack. At least gas was 27 cents a gallon back then. So travel the world, see how other people often live and struggle to meet daily needs. See why it is not a bad thing to have no stoplights, Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's. And then you may come to understand what the hundreds of out-of-towners who spend their summers at our 3 lakes know, that Moodus East Haddam, while far from perfect, is a great place to call home. You may even someday come to appreciate and seek boring. Number 3, find your passion. When I asked that question in 9th grade health, many of you looked puzzled. So I followed it up with, okay, what turns you on? Well, that got a lot of looks and giggles, but if sex, drugs, and rock and roll is all you got, your future may not become what you hope for. So whatever it is, find that passion and pursue it. Mine was sports, and it has influenced my journey to this day. When I couldn't play baseball anymore, I became a teacher so I could coach. Go find that job, but better still, a career that excites you each day. And as the saying goes, you won't have to work a day in your life. Along the way, maybe you will meet someone, find someone and raise a family. Work hard at becoming a good parent. As you learned in biology, becoming a mother or father is relatively easy, but being a parent is hard. Build a house, perhaps, and turn it into a home where memories are made. Make memories, not money. Money by itself does not guarantee happiness or good health. Seek success, but embrace failure. You need both rain and sun to grow. And as you make that house a home, plant some flowers, the condiments of landscaping. Number 4, freedom is not free. In the world this very minute, people are dying trying to protect what we take for granted. The world today is becoming an uncertain place. I don't gamble, but I did win the lottery once in the spring of 1970, outside Harry Weinstein's on Main Street. Anybody here remember Harry's? Anybody? All right, very good. Outside Harry's, I read my draft number in the newspaper. Anybody remember newspapers? Okay? That number, 268, allowed me to attend college and plan a life. Many kids were not so lucky. Some Hale-Ray grads were drafted into the military and sent to Vietnam. Some did not return. So please, recite the pledge to the flag and stand proudly during the national anthem. Thankful and hopeful, you may never be called physically to fight for our country. But what you must do, however, is stand up for what is right. Challenge the bullies you will meet and look the Sinbads right in the eye and let them know you know what they are. People in power are not always correct. You not only have a right to challenge the status quo, it is your responsibility. It took us over 30 years as a town to finally build this high school. And why did it get built? A group of students. Any graduates here, 89, 90, 91? Couple? All right. Well, you guys got tired, sick and tired of waiting for the powers that be in our town to make a decision. And the kids took it upon themselves. They formed an organization called Strife, Students Together Rise and Fight for Education. They collected bottle caps to help build this school. Bottle caps. You know how many bottle caps it would take for $10 million? They called newspapers and television stations to express their frustration. This act embarrassed the town fathers into doing something, and finally they did. I challenge anybody here tonight to prove me wrong about this. Look it up. Hartford Current Archives, Bottle Cap High. And more recently, groups of kids and adults attended meetings, wrote letters, and demanded that the track left out of that building program 30 years ago be built. Because of that effort, the track is being constructed as we sit here today. Good prevails when good people refuse to be silent. So don't ever say you don't care. Get involved in the process. Vote, volunteer, express your opinion, and see what you can do. Because if you don't care, you might get Kentucky Fried Chicken. And only some of you will remember that lesson. And finally, number 5, life is not fair. Life is not fair. That, of course, you already know. Because if it was fair, Laura, Michelle, and Connor would be sitting here with us right now. Please, on your journey, honor their memories by being kind. Remember always the forget-me-not stone flower garden in front of you, a place you created so you can come anytime to feel Connor's love. So, as you go station to station, take some time to reflect on where you have been and, more importantly, where you hope to go. Me, I just wanted to play baseball. And then after years of coaching and teaching, I started to wonder, what am I doing? And why? Day after day, year after year, the same old thing. Little by little, it started to make some sense, though. After reluctantly agreeing to become the AD in 2001, I started coming to school earlier, arriving often before 6:45 a.m. On warm mornings, after a rain, I would find dozens of worms crawling on the sidewalks in the parking lot. Mr. Gable, you thought I was joking about worms, didn't you? I told you it was about worms. Instinctively, I would stop and pick one up and throw it back onto the lawn. But there were so many. What was I doing? Luckily, no one was around to witness my strange behavior. One time, though, I was walking in a city with my wife, and I found worms on the sidewalk. Of course, I stopped and I started to pick them up. My wife says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, Deb, someday you'll understand." Well, today's that day. You see, I realized that I had packed something for my journey. It all started when I was 6, living on Neptune Avenue. My mother never graduated from high school, yet was so smart. She ran 3 successful businesses out of our home. She was an entrepreneur before the word was probably even a word. She would have been a great TikTok influencer, I am sure, but alas, she only had me to influence. Kindergarten was optional back then, but there was no way I was going to go to school. My mother was my teacher. So after a morning of reading and writing and arithmetic, we spent the afternoon playing games, gardening, caring for pets, swimming, and fishing. I became pretty good at fishing. I could bait a hook, cast, catch a fish, clean it, and cook it for dinner. Thinking back, my crazy behavior towards worms was easy to understand. My father would take me out at night to catch night crawlers. Mr. Boccaccio in the back, our resident expert fishermen, will know them as Lumbricus terrestris, big worms. The next day, I would take a dozen or so of the crawlers, and I'd place them on the patio, all lined up in lanes. And I would have worm races. Now, remember, I'm 6. They didn't move very fast, but I thought by exercising them and making them stronger, they would help me catch bigger fish. The start of my coaching career, perhaps. I developed an affinity for the little guys. Of course, later I learned that they were hermaphroditic, but that's a lesson I'll leave for Mr. Freeman. Soon, though, life came calling. School, cars, job, college, baseball, fishing, not so much anymore. But in reflection, it all started to make sense. You see, the worms in the school parking lot were not fully grown. They were probably teenagers in worm years, whatever that is, but it made sense. They were clueless. They had no perspective. They had no idea what they were doing, heading out into the parking lot where cars, people walking, and the morning sun all posed great dangers to their future well-being. So I did what I could, but I couldn't save them all. Luckily, this last story made it so easy to understand. It goes like this. Once upon a time, there was an old man who used to go to the beach each morning for a walk. Early one morning, as he was walking along the shore after a big storm had passed, he found the beach littered with starfish as far as the eye could see, stretching in both directions. As the old man walked, he would stop now and then and pick up an object and throw it into the sea. Off in the distance, the man noticed a small boy approaching. The boy came closer and said to the old man, "Good morning. May I ask, what are you doing?" The old man paused, looked up, and replied, "Throwing starfish into the ocean. The tide washed them up onto the beach, and they can't return by themselves, and they will die in the morning sun." The young boy replied, "But there must be tens of thousands of starfish on this beach. I'm afraid you won't really make much of a difference." The old man bent down, picked up yet another starfish, and threw it as far as he could into the ocean. He turned and smiled to the boy and said, "Well, it made a difference to that one." So you see, Michael, Mamouche, Austin, Isidro, Melissa, Katrina, Liza, Yana, Brooke, and the rest of the class of 2023, it really is so easy to understand. As you go forward on your journey, try to make a difference for someone, something, or some ideal. And if you do, it will make all the difference in your life, and you will have a very, very nice life. Almost done. To all my colleagues at Hale-Ray, especially Rose, Deb, and Leslie, my 3 personal IT people who proved you can try to teach an old dog new tricks, thank you for all you do. I wish you all the best. Education is certainly changing. I doubt, however, you will ever be called old school. It is no longer necessary to speak to kids. AI can now write lessons and solve problems before you can even lesson plan for them. Your role may soon be just to show kids how to use the next app. In the 1960s, the best decade to grow up in. Any boomers here? All right, we got boomers. So Sager and Evans, they wrote a song. Anybody know? What was it called? In the year 2525. This is in the 1960s, predicting the future. Sager and Evans said, as lyrics, "No need to go to school today. All you need to do and say is in the pill you take today." Do you really think it's going to take another 500 years to get to that point? I really doubt it. To my family, my 3 children, proud graduates of Hale-Ray who are attempting to make that difference, my wife, Deb, who's made the difference in our family, thank you for being with me on my journey. It has been quite a ride. To the staff at Hale-Ray, the secretarial, maintenance, custodial, cafeteria folks, you have made my journey enjoyable, always a smile, always helpful. You are so important to the welfare of our school. And the paraprofessionals I've worked with, you are overworked and underpaid, but not underappreciated. Thank you for your dedication over the years. To my coaches and players and parents that I've been associated with over the last 47 years, know that your presence, effort, commitment, and respect has allowed me to remain a kid for all these years. And a special shout out to Charlie Boynton, my first coach, teacher, mentor, friend, who transformed Hale-Ray during his years as athletic director. A better human being you will not find. Charlie, you taught me the only thing that matters are the kids. Everything else is just politics. Thank you for what you've done for Hale-Ray. And finally, to the extended Noises family, the East Haddam Moodus community who has supported me since I first stepped on that Little League field 64 years ago, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been great, it's gone fast, and you have made that difference in my life. So remember, class of 2023, as you go station to station in life, take some time to smile more, cry less, watch more sunsets, eat more ice cream, and spend some time each day unplugged and talk to those that matter. The final station will come soon enough for all of us. But you know what? Life's journey is not to arrive at the grave in a well-preserved body, but to rather slide in sideways, totally worn out, shouting, "Holy shoot, what a ride." That's it, folks. Mr. Latanzi, you're now in charge. Let's get this party started.
Good evening, friends, family, alumni, faculty, administrators, Board of Education, and the class of 2023. I'm Eliza Anderson, not Grace for those of you that still can't tell us apart. And I'm grateful and honored to be speaking to you as the class of 2023 salutatorian. When I was told that I was going to give a speech, I was really looking forward to it. It's one of the reasons that I wanted to be salutatorian. I really enjoy public speaking. But when I sat down to write the thing, I found myself at a complete loss when I really thought it would be easy. I mean, how hard can it be to talk about myself? I do it all the time, maybe too much. How do I leave people with a lesson when they're the ones that taught me everything I know? How do I inspire a group that has shaped me into the person I am today? When I look back on our high school career, I'm of course grateful for the big accomplishments like making it through our COVID times, celebrating each other at senior awards and class night, and controversially switching our class color to pink. But what I really remember and hold dear to my heart are the small moments in between these truly incredible accomplishments. The people around you that really matter. As someone who is going to be an acting major in college, it's no secret that the Hale-Ray Drama Club has practically been my second home. One of my biggest regrets in high school was not doing the fall play junior year, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. I didn't audition because I didn't want to be overworked, but I tell people it's because there was no female lead, duh. Thankfully, though, with the power of peer pressure at its finest, I auditioned for the spring musical later that year. Cinderella is my proudest accomplishment. I poured my heart and soul into that production, even though I may have had a concussion for part of the rehearsal process. May you rest in peace, my dad's old Toyota Camry. I love being on stage, but what happens off stage is what I mainly remember. The pre-show handshakes with my sister that I do every time I perform, the quiet pats on the back in between scenes, or when the first night's curtain closes and the whole cast, crew, and tech runs through the hall screaming and hugging each other in celebration. One of my favorite moments was working on the timing of the song the day of opening night. I'm such a professional. The first time I ever came in singing on time was that first show. And I remember seeing the silhouettes of our sound techs, Michael Jordan and Drew McNeil, jumping up and down at the back of the auditorium. Thank you for giving me a small moment to remember in the midst of the chaos that is putting on a show. Something about our small school that I also love is our small class sizes. And this is a known thing. Graduation speakers love to talk about it because it's something unique to our school, but trust me, I've got it covered. I know that we will miss it. Much like our Rises groups, our classes become small communities that we can rely on. Even before the senioritis hit, there were days when I didn't want to come into school, but I forced myself to because I looked forward to some special classes. Our French class started at a group of about 25 students in middle school, but has since evolved into a tight-knit group of 7. French 5 is a conversation class, so we discuss all things under the sun, from analyzing classic novels to the small matters of our personal lives to life's most virtuous lessons that will stay with us forever, like how sitting is the new smoking. Thank you, Madame. It's no secret that the English department practically runs the school. Those in AP Lang, or as Miss Dedman liked to call it, Giggletown, remember ripping Richard Nixon to shreds after analyzing his pathetic checkers speech. And how lucky we were sophomore year to be able to write speeches on whatever we wanted. Hats off to Casey for writing about how for every good book there is an even better movie. My biology class with Mr. Boccaccio was certainly a time to remember. One time during a lab, Nate Whitus squished an amoeba and quite literally killed our data. No idea how I'm even standing up here because of you. Accelerated Algebra 2 was just a battle between students who wanted to learn math and understand course material and students who wanted to test the limits of Mr. L's distractibility. Thankfully, Mr. Latanzi's creative and considerate mind always found a way to incorporate our interests and Taylor Swift into his lessons. The academic rigor in high school can be challenging, but it's not as bad once you put it into perspective. Underneath the clubs, classes, and fun assignments, you're left with one thing. People, the class of 2023. I could genuinely sit here and list things that each of you have taught me, and I seriously thought about doing it, but you'll just have to trust me. We truly have an amazing group. We have members of all state teams, state champions, multiple people working overtime at their families' businesses or growing and building their own. We have wildly impressive scholars and Halo Award nominees and recipients. I look at our class today with such a sense of pride, and I have no doubt that each and every one of you will achieve your goals. As you walk away from Hale-Ray, I encourage you to let your ambitions drive you. Follow your passions, lead with your heart, but don't forget about the people behind you. Don't forget about the people that make you laugh during a stressful school day, or the ones that cheer you on in the back of a dark auditorium. Some of us have made friends for life, but to others, we're just a smile and a nod. But in a few years from now, when you meet each other at 7-Eleven or bump into each other at Hometown Market, that smile might mean a lot. I hope that smile brings back the memories of high school, and I hope that today lies as a cornerstone piece because it should. Thank you to the dependable teachers, inspiring mentors, my incredibly supportive family, and all of you for making the small moments of the past 4 years mean more than any title, award, or diploma ever could. Congratulations, class of 2023, and thank you.
Hello. Thank you, everyone here today, the staff, faculty, family, anyone else I'm forgetting. I'm Drew McNeil, and I'm valedictorian of the class of 2023. So, here we are. In about 25 minutes, we'll be receiving our diplomas and graduating high school. We'll hear a wonderful duet from Carter and Sophie before then, as well as one last speech from Mr. Reese, which, if the butterfly effect is correct, will profoundly alter the course of our lives. Before we look forward to this next chapter of our lives, however, we must first look back at what has led us here. 4 years ago, 2,102,400 minutes ago, most of us sat at a ceremony not so different from this one, ready to move on from 8th grade, but unsure of what awaited us at high school. Scared, but also excited, coming back from summer vacation, we walked into high school, schedules in hand, ready to take on our first day. Over time, our classes, each 75-minute block, became easier and easier as we learned to have fun and be creative with Ms. Poniatowski's civics projects and make the most use of our one question before a quiz in Mr. Gable's geometry class. High school was suddenly starting to seem welcoming, but unbeknownst to all of us at the time, our spring break would come a bit early. The last group of people to set foot in the school would put on an amazing performance of Pirates of Penzance before we were launched into distance learning. Although some good moments came from this time, like Mr. Eckert giving us a pop quiz on the amendments as we hung out on a Google Meet that Ms. Poniatowski had left, or Ms. Deadman putting on wonderful performances of A Midsummer Night's Dream while wearing her elf ears. Many of us prefer to forget this time. So, skipping ahead a bit, and after our finals were turned in, definitely on time. Thank you, Ms. Champ. Our freshman year was over. 3 years ago, 1,576,800 minutes ago, we were left uncertain again. Uncertain of whether we would be back in school again after the summer and what school would even look like. Once the summer ended, we got our answer, however. We were back, wearing masks and behind so-called riot shields, maybe, but we were back. Despite our circumstances, we were able to enjoy the year, receiving printed-out munchkins from Miss Halverson during our lesson on the Congo, or watching Monkey Kingdom during our lunches in Miss Mack's room. The first of us began to drive, and may or may not have made like 5 people late on their first day driving, but that's neither here nor there. We learned the importance of empathy and fitting in other people's shoes from reading To Kill a Mockingbird in Miss Mack's class, and closed off a strange year by representing our countries of choice in the Model UN unit. Before we knew it, sophomore year was over. 2 years ago, 1,051,200 minutes ago, things were finally feeling normal again. Restrictions were being lifted, and we were able to have a normal summer with friends before entering the school once again. This year started with a bang, literally, in Miss P's class, after Luke Carpy and others decided it would be a fun experiment to close a bottle with dry ice in it. We moved through the year as normal, but on November 3rd, we lost one of our beloved classmates, and we had to learn to live with loss. Forever will Connor Meany Young be remembered as a kind, impactful member of our class. While it was difficult, the year continued. Eventually, the mask mandate was finally lifted, and although it took some getting used to, things began to feel as they were freshman year. We had our first prom, many of us took our first AP tests, and after another relaxed month, 43,200 minutes, we took our finals and watched as the class above us all graduated, one by one, leaving us as the next seniors. With that, our junior year was over. 1 year ago, 525,600 minutes ago, we became seniors. This summer would be a busy one. Some of us worked, some of us visited colleges and started on our college essays. Some of us said our final goodbyes to our friends from the class of 2022 before they went off to college, and some of us did all three. Above all else, we enjoyed our last summer of high school. 2.5 months, 108,000 minutes. Eventually, summer gave way into fall, however, and we were back, one last time. This year started fast. College applications were due soon, and many of us spent hours thinking of the perfect topic for a Common App essay and writing numerous drafts until it was finally completed. Senior project required us all to explore something that we are passionate about and create a project to demonstrate all of our growth over our 4 years in high school. Along with all of these overarching projects, we were creating water bottle rockets in Miss Parthasarthy's physics class, getting our hands dirty with statistics in Mr. Gable's class, and still trying to find time to enjoy ourselves during our last year of high school. Eventually, one by one, our struggles began to fade away though. By the winter, most of us had turned in our college applications. On January 18th, most of us presented our senior projects to the school and community. In February, we began to hear back from colleges and started seriously thinking about where we would spend the next 4 years. In May, we took our final AP exams, and with that, it was mostly celebrations left. We went to our senior prom, our last games of the spring season, banquets, senior night, senior skip day, and class trip. It can all seem like a blur now, but we made our final college decisions, turned in whatever work we had left in our classes, enjoyed our week off during finals, and now we are here. All of those years, all of those minutes have led up to this moment. In about 20 minutes now, we will be receiving our diplomas. For about a minute each, we'll be called onto stage, shake hands with Mr. Eckert, Mr. Reese, and Mr. Pishotti, receive our diplomas, and have our pictures taken. Once everyone has received their diplomas, we'll turn our tassels, and that's it. 2,102,400 minutes, all leading up to this one moment. It seems almost anticlimactic after all that time to only have a few minutes of graduating before you have just graduated. In a way, it makes sense though. It is certainly strange to measure a year in 525,600 minutes, and you don't remember high school for the time it took for each minute of your 2,102,400 minute journey. You remember high school for the memories made, a new one every minute. Some better than others, obviously, but 2,102,400 memories nonetheless. I still remember going to the gym and getting breakfast at Dan's with Casey and Nate at 5 a.m. on the day of the blood drive. 2 hours, 102 memories, 20 memories. I still remember going to the village parking lot after every jazz band practice, concert, or play with Sally and Aiden Bonilla and whoever else happened to be there every time. 1 hour, 60 memories each time. I still remember getting ice cream at Mootis Ice Cream with all of my friends as often as possible and accruing a sizable credit card balance because of these visits, as well as watching Michael Jordan demolish a cookie kaboom sundae every time. Half an hour, 30 memories each. I still remember every shift at the North Pole Express where Chelsea basically forced everyone to work for the winter. 6 hours, 360 memories each time. I still remember bowling at Kickback and Bowl in East Hampton with Nate, Duncan, Cole, Michael, Malachi, Joe, and Joey, and seeing Jack Dedman show up and bowl in the lane next to us. 3 hours, 180 memories. I still remember cheering on Connor every lap of the 2 mile during indoor track freshman year and getting louder every time he passed. 16 laps, 16 memories. I still remember all the band concerts, all of the plays and musicals, and going to a Happy Fits concert with Duncan and Eliza. I still remember when Grace developed her fear of frisbees after Cole hit her with a frisbee at Town Beach. All of the free meals at Papa Z's while Yana served us because Yana's mom is too kind, and all of the Seinfeld references while working with Ella and Joe Casaneri at the train. I still remember driving Duncan's car and going to all the fairs that we possibly could in the fall before he banned me from driving his car, playing Guitar Hero in my basement while people made holes in the wall with darts, and making s'mores at numerous boho farm bonfires at Tyler's house. No matter the time, no matter the hours, no matter the minutes, each moment creates hundreds of memories. So as we sit here today, I encourage you all to think of one moment, one memory you have made over the past 4 years, no matter how big or small, that you still think about to this day, and hold on to it. Cherish it for a moment longer. Remember, wherever the future takes you, to continue living, not for the minutes, but the moments. Thank you to my family, all the teachers and faculty, and especially all of you sitting beside me, each of you a friend, for making the moments that I hold on to so dearly from the past 4 years. It has been an honor to spend these last 2,102,400 minutes with you, and to make one last minute as we receive our diplomas into one last memory. Thank you.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change, and in the bad times I feel myself.
Tell me something, boy. Are you tired trying to fill that void? Do you need more? They are keeping it so hardcore. I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself for change, and in the bad times I fear myself.
I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Crash through the surface where they can hurt us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, in the shallow, in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now.
would like to offer my heartfelt congratulations to every member of the Nathan Hale-Ray High School class of 2023. It has been a privilege and an honor to serve as your principal over the last 4 years. I wish you all the best. Mr. Reese, I present to you the members of the class of 2023.
Thank you, Mr. Eckert. Good evening. Good evening, graduates, soon to be. Good evening, Drew. Thank you for the honorable mention. Good evening, Board of Education members. Good evening, families, faculty, staff. What an amazing night. Were you expecting that level of speech tonight? Because I think they all deserve a round of applause. I was blown away. Tonight is a night of congratulations. Congratulations to graduates. Congratulations to parents. Congratulations to faculty. The class of 23 is like no other. The class of 23 has experienced high school differently than any other class before and any other class to come. As a class, you persisted. As a class, you persevered. Thank you. While it has been 5 years or more since I donned the timelessly fashionable high school graduation robes, I remember it well. I recall a moment when the time seemed to stop and all the goings-on just became real. A moment when it was quiet. A moment when the music and the noise were drowned out by the quiet moment and the quiet thought that graduation was really here. In the hopes of being relevant and reasonably direct, for a superintendent, of course, I thought tonight's focus would be on the many perils of ChatGPT, which I find it interesting has shown up in other speeches. That's right, artificial intelligence is here. For those who are less familiar with the technology, ChatGPT is an interactive program that can, among other things, write a summary, write a letter, write a speech, and after you enter a few key phrases in your computer, there it is. The technology of this program is just amazing. As it scours millions of bits of data, I would probably have to see Drew for the number, and develops the requested document. While the technology, the science, and the programming behind it are amazing, and I could talk for hours about that because I find it interesting, the program raises questions. Should we cite the program? This was written by ChatGPT. We've seen in the news what happens with the music industry and trying to avoid copyright issues. Can we trust the source? Who's in the box? I'm pretty sure that the computer that sits in front of me on a regular basis hates me. I'm really going to bank on what it says to say. Can we stand up and say that's my work? Out of the real fear that you might think I used AI to write my speech, I actually considered writing a few awkward moments in, just to make it sound real. My wife told me not to worry about that. I'm not sure how to take that. There are a host of questions related to this developing technology. Graduates, you are entering the outside world with AI developing at an amazing rate. It's amazing. This is a great example of moving ahead, and as I see it, society running after it. Like the jogging stroller that got loose at the beach. You'll be chasing that technology and finding ways to use it. So what's the tragedy? It doesn't sound so bad to me. As Hale-Ray alum, you have the unique and powerful voices, and we expect you to use them. As you enter the next phase of your life, you have demonstrated critical thinking, creative problem solving, genuine thoughtfulness, and kindness as you progress through this school system. And it would be a tragedy not to share your unique perspective and your wisdom from these experiences with the rest of the world. Your voice is extremely valuable, and to the world you are walking into, it is extremely valuable. I encourage you to consider for a few moments the consequences when a path like artificial intelligence offers you the easier road. Does this path limit your voice? Does this path let you avoid your opportunity to develop your voice? Does it get in the way of your continued development as a citizen in your community and beyond? I share this with you as I believe it would be a tragedy for your family, for your community, and your amazing country not to hear from you. I know that I speak for many when I say we are beyond excited to see where you have come, what you will do, and yes, what you will have to say. Congratulations, class of 23. Congratulations. As the superintendent of the East Haddam School District, I hereby certify these graduating students, having satisfactorily completed the prescribed courses of study for the several grade levels in accordance with their abilities to achieve, that they have satisfactorily passed any examinations and/or standards established by the faculty and approved by the Board of Education, that they have fulfilled the legally mandated number and distribution of credits, and that they have successfully demonstrated the performance expectations identified by the East Haddam Board of Education in compliance with all state and federal legislation. Therefore, it is my honor to hereby present to you the graduating class of 2023. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mark Bishotti, the Board of Education Chairman, for a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. Good evening, parents, guests, Board of Ed, staff, and most importantly, you, class of 2023. After hearing Drew's 525,000 plus minutes, I'll try to reduce this to 2 minutes or less. It's always an honor to be up here to celebrate this achievement with everybody. As I think of this class, I see a group that has overcome so much to be here. A pandemic, distance learning, loss, combined with the daily stresses and pressures that young people face every day. Yet through all of that, you found a way to bond together, be there for each other, and do so many things to help inspire your classmates to greater success. This is a tribute to your character and resolve. And in doing so, you have represented yourselves in a way that your families in this district could be so proud. As you move forward in life, whether it's in continued education, the military, or in the workforce, be prepared, on time, and never let anyone define who you are. Always remember, one person can make a difference. We can't wait to see the great things you'll accomplish in the future. Be safe, take time to smell the roses, and on behalf of the entire Board of Education, congratulations to all of you, class of 2023.
Are you ready? Emmett Richard Allen. Eliza Michelle Anderson. Grace Elizabeth Anderson. James Alexander Atkinson. Jason Matthew Beach. Quinn Audrey Beisel. Aiden O'Shea Burns. Casey David Burns. Rebecca Lynn Bushnell. Samuel Allen Cardinal. Makoto David Casenti. Marisol Kathleen Chupas. Talo Adrian Ciccarello. Andrew James Conroy. Ashley Lauren Dello Iacono. Samuel Mark Forsyth. Abigail Grace Furman. Isidro Domingo Garcia. Tessa May Galston. Austin Michael Halleck. Natasha Alexandra Hasley. Maximilian Jospin Janisek. Caleb Dean Jesse. Michael James Jordan. Joseph Koch Kalis. Yana V. Kariotis. Andrew Robert Kittleman. Melissa Christine Knox. Michael Joseph Krasuski. Violet Elsie Lacasse. Cale Henry Lepre. Noah Gregory Leibowitz. Samantha Rebecca Lennon. Drew Allen McNeil. Kyle James Martell. Wyatt Matthew Martin. Griffin Ocean Maschelet. Carla Natasha Morales. Elizabeth Grace Olander. At this time, please welcome Board of Education member Brian Perry to the stage to present his daughter with her diploma. Marissa T. Perry. Big hug, Brian. Big hug. Brooke Elise Praskovich. Mackenzie Dawn Ramke. Cole Matthew Rohde. Ella Victoria Rogers. Ella Ruby Rogerson. Aiden Quinn Sally. Haley Elizabeth Sangillo. Austin Mika Savigny. Kayla Aspen Sodergren. Sophia Louise Stahelski. Duncan Clark Stewart. Josephine Elizabeth Tosi. Katrina Brooke Tozier. Caroline Renee Wallace. Vicky Wang. Please welcome Board of Education member Laurel White to the stage to present her daughter with her diploma. Vivian Esther White. Nathan John Whitus. Nathan John Yeomans. At this time, please welcome Chris Ann Meany and Ian Young to the stage to accept an honorary diploma. Connor Meany Young.
Graduates, please remain standing as we sing our alma mater.
Congratulations, class of 2023. Turn your tassels.